I'm getting a sense from this combination of cards just on the outset. Two things. The first thing is that you are a chameleon. The second thing is that because you're a chameleon, you're able to embody a lot of different archetypes, a lot of different sorts of people, a lot of different sorts of sensibilities, moods, themes, which makes your work very relatable. It also makes it healing because that element of whichever particular group or idea or mode your particular piece is speaking to, they recognize themselves. People recognize that element. It's maybe something that they can't put their finger on. You're able to embody a lot of different sort of character types. So that makes you like several different artists in one. People find that very healing. And your energy is just naturally healing. Chiaroscuro, in contrast, the light and the dark. You jump to extremes, but there's something about the way that you do it that it doesn't seem extreme. It's as if you take the rough edges off of sharp objects. You take off the serration, and that's also what makes your work healing. Somewhere in the translation between the spark of your idea and the way that you put that idea forth for other people to experience, you're transmuting energies. You're basically like rearranging molecules to make like a I don't know, space-age polymer or something. A new form of expression that can be about something really rough, but yet has a soothing quality to it. That roughness is somehow not triggering, which is really a feat to pull off, I think. Cindy Sherman. There's an urban legend that Cindy Sherman can go unrecognized at her own exhibitions, even though she's surrounded by photographs of herself. In sophisticated costume, makeup, and prosthetics, Sherman is the foundation for the wildly different characters, time periods, and stereotypes explored in her most known work, which tends to destabilize expectations of femininity and identity. Sherman shows equal conviction in all of the archetypes she portrays, whether the Hollywood actress, modern suburban family woman, or clown. Her work has been used to train law enforcement personnel in facial recognition in cases of clown impersonation. Don't be yourself. Be yourselves. Tell the truth in every fiction. Take a good long look in someone else's mirror. Creation and experiment. And action. The three of these things together with some of these quotes makes me feel like you're ready to sort of stretch out creatively and take risks. Birth Morso, which I'm probably mangling the name, says it's important to express oneself, provided the feelings are real and taken from your own experience. Andy Warhol says, let everyone else decide if your art is good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. While they're deciding, make more art. Michelangelo, a man paints with his brains and not his hands. The main thing is to be moved, to love, to hope, to tremble, to live. Love, love, love. That is the soul of genius. And then we've got Andy over here on the side. Don't think about making art, just get it done. I don't know where the artificial stops and the real starts. This right there, that quote really echoes to me the chameleon quality of your work. Like that you could take liberties or add flourishes as perhaps like an afterthought that would be maybe more calculated. And so you could say, if you were, being really like neutral in your use of this word, not meaning it like pejorative, you could say that would be the artificial, and then the gut stuff, the bones, would be the real. Or perhaps the artificial could be viewed as that part of a personality that you take on with a particular work, that while it's authentic for you and it's a genuine persona that you embody, it's also sort of exclusive only to this predetermined area. In that sense, it's artificial because it does not carry over into any other part of your life. Action. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. And experiment. Let's put Cindy here for a moment. Okay, we've got a couple of quotes from Ralph Waldo Emerson. We've got a few from Robert Henri. And then these are, quite a few of these came out. These are, I call them muse cards, but that does not necessarily what every one is. So we'll just see what we have here. Talk to the demon. Body keeps the score. Abre los ojos. Like water for chocolate. Ripples. Fill up your senses. Play up your flaw. And a dream is not in vain. You're sensitive, and it's important that you clear out your energy, or if you're not a person that thinks in terms of clearing energy, do something that hits the reset. Like something where you move your body, or something where you sing or dance or do something that's completely joyous. Anything that takes you out of whatever momentum you're in when you're feeling stressed and is guaranteed to put you in a better space can be considered clearing your energy. But because you're sensitive, I think that that's important, so you can keep the channel clear as far as being able to take your ideas from that spark to external realities. Talk to the demon is about digging into when you have a sort of fear about something, talking to it objectively, like basically, what use are you? What is your function here? Are you trying to protect me? Are you trying to block me? What is the higher purpose of this issue? This whatever the vexation is, whatever you might consider a demon or a monkey on your back. Being able to step away from it like that, even if you can't really nail down specifically what the higher purpose would be. Being able to break up the momentum of it, even just that attempt to sort of look at it more clinically and less personally, it can clear out, kind of be like the cleaner in the windshield wipers. The windshield gets dirty, and just being able to step away seems to sort of like squirt some of that blue stuff up on the windshield and clack the wipers back and forth a few times. It just gives you a moment to get a fresh perspective. The film, Like Water for Chocolate, this woman puts enormous love into her cooking. And because she puts enormous love into her cooking, her food is very healing to people. And wonderful things happen for people, experiencing her cooking. It's because of the love, the intent. And you have that loving intent. And that's why clearing your energy or hitting that reset button, being able to step away from things that are troublesome, you can't help but put love into what you do. And if you're not supported in other areas, that can take out so much from a person that you can really wear yourself down. Abre los ojos and fill up your senses. Keep your eyes wide open and take in everything. Even if it doesn't come out directly in your work, it will have a ripple effect into it. And because of the emotional, what's the best way to put this? Because of the way that your work can sort of cut through the bullshit and get right to the center of a person. It can pass whatever, judgment barriers they have up. That gives it a greater power to ripple through, basically, society. Especially because of the chameleon-like quality that you have. And your ability to reach many different groups of people. Play up your flaw. Andy Warhol maintains that you should always play up the flaw instead of trying to hide it. And a dream is not in vain. When you're creative, you need to be able to dream. Because if you're not able to, if you get worn down, then it's like artists run on imagination. Artists run on dreams. Artists run on things that touch the soul and can't be rushed. And things that weigh you down, things that pressure you or vex you, things that are monkeys on your back, are completely counterproductive to the sort of joy and the freedom, the mental freedom, and the mental space that you need to have in order to dream, to imagine, to have that spark, to have that sort of direct line open to the field of ideas. Being able to break away from all the busyness and the obligation, even if it's just 15 minutes twice a day, go in a room and sit quietly. And people say meditate, but then meditate always, to me, seems like some sort of a homework assignment. It doesn't, for some reason, the word does not make me want to do it, but there's nothing I love more than sitting and just contemplating stuff, or just sitting and being quiet, because you get some of the best ideas then. In that silence, in that stillness, you get opened up to that field of ideas and of dreams. Since everything in nature answers to a moral power, if any phenomenon remains brute and dark, it is because corresponding faculty in the observer is not yet active. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Your work opens up that corresponding faculty in the observer. I think that's why this one came out. Because of the way you can reach so many different people. In whichever way your work touches them, you free them from that brutality and that darkness. The use of symbols has a certain power of emancipation and exhilaration for all men. We are like persons who come out of a cave or cellar into the open air. This is the effect on us of tropes, fables, oracles, and all poetic forms. Poets and artists are thus liberating gods. Once again, Your work has the power to liberate. It has the power to free, to provide that feeling of exhilaration. The way that it feels to be seen is what your work provides for people who might not otherwise get that. All the past up to a moment ago is your legacy. You have a right to it. This is Robert Henri. It may be that what we take for absence of humanity is the very presence of it. Make up your mind about what you want to put down. And don't let anything prevent you from putting down just that. Follow your instincts. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Take wonderful care of yourself, and any direction in which you stretch, you're going to find a very grateful group of people.